Hello, YouTubers, and welcome back to another episode of the Grandstand here on the Ohio Patriot Education Network YouTube channel. I'm, as always, your host, Aaron, the Ohio Patriot. And for today's episode, we're going to talk about just another one of the things that pisses me the fuck off on a daily basis, aka a bunch of leftist bullshit. Basically, this past weekend in Cleveland, Ohio, you had a bunch of leftists do their, annual Pride Parade thing. It's whatever, they want to take over the fucking month of June now at this point and completely, shove it down everybody's throats is what it is. And, yeah, it's whatever. The problem I have, though, is, and this is something I don't understand, right, about the whole deal. And I don't care if it's state of Ohio or any other state for that matter. How the fuck is it even legal to do backdoor voter registration at a random event like this? Like, that's what I don't get, right? Like, you want to have your gay pride thing, you want to have your fucking, whatever it is, whatever you want to call it there. I could care less. The problem I have, though, is you have these fucking people out there with their fucked up, baby murdering agendas who are trying to register as many leftists as possible and put them around the fucking voter roll right before the August election here so they can go vote now. And it's like, I don't understand how that's even legal, number one, to do shit like that. Number two, there really needs to be a fucking thing where it needs to be if you're registered to vote, it should have to be at least 6 months out from any election at that point. And if it's not 6 months out, guess what? You don't get a chance to vote in the next election cycle then if that be the case. And it would be as simple as that, really. And that would be a way to fix a lot of shit in this country right now. But the problem is that we continue to allow bullshit like this to go on. And it's not right, honestly. Because like I said, you basically have these people, like they're basically pushing this agenda. And they're like, oh, you want the right to choose, right? You want the right to choose about your body, right? Also bullshit like that. It's like, except it's not your body. It's a fucking human child growing inside of you as a female. But yet they don't even want to use the word female or male anymore. They want to talk about birthing people and all this other stupid horse shit, dude. And what's funny to me is these people claim to be so goddamn inclusive. They're not, though, dude. They hate gay conservatives, they hate bisexual conservatives like myself, and they hate anybody that doesn't fit their bullshit leftist agenda. Yeah, that's right. I pretty much said this about a year ago, but I think nobody really paid attention to it. So I'm officially coming out, man. I'm bi. I'm a bisexual conservative male. And the problem with that is these people hate me even more because I don't fall into leftist agenda bullshit. You know why? Because I respect the flag, the American flag, not their fucking, pedo pride flag or their progressive, whatever flag I'll call it, not progressive pride flag or progress pride flag, where the hell it is there. Let's not mince words though, dude. It 100% is fucking endorsement of pedophilia at this point. That's what these fuckers do. That's what they are. They are a bunch of Satanist pieces of shit. They are pushing their disgusting Satanist agenda on everybody else. And like I said, as someone who myself is bisexual, I am fucking sick and tired of it, man. I am legit fucking sick and tired of it. And that's the thing, right? Like, they want to sit there and act like, oh, you'd be some straight white male. No, I'm not, bitch. I'm actually not. And that's the big thing, right? As soon as they fucking see that shit, they have no fucking power over me anymore, man. And that's what it is for everybody at this point. Even if you are straight, I don't care, man. Like, tell them to fuck off is what it is. But the entire point is, I've been soul searching the last couple of years now is what it is. And, really it's been since about 2018, 2019, somewhere in there. I've basically had, like, I've always thought, like, I really wasn't, like, 100% straight is what it was. And then, like, over the last few years, here's what it is. Like, I basically figured out that, like, I'm definitely attracted to people of both sexes is what it is. So, that's where we're at right now. But anyway, and I'm not saying I'm attracted to, like, everybody of both sexes or anything like that or whatever you want to call it, dude, or, like, any people that call themselves, like, pansexual, whatever the case be, where it's like, just like various people, and really honestly to me, like I feel like the whole pansexual thing is just a bullshit excuse to just not see you're bisexual. So, because to me, I think honestly, I think a lot of people are actually bisexual. They just don't want to admit it is what it is. And I'm not going to sit here and say they're going to have like, feelings for like a ton of people of both sexes. It would be like maybe a couple here or there is what it is of like, maybe they're same sex or whatever it is. And then, obviously the opposite sex would be more inclined or whatever the case be then. And I feel like that's what it is for me personally. Like there's definitely like, and honestly, what's interesting too, when I've, gone over this whole thing over the last several years now and stuff, is I think for me personally, it's more like femininity that I'm attracted to across the board is what it is. Because there are quite a few effeminate males that I have personally found like semi-attractive is what it is over the last like several years here is what it is. And then of course there's a lot of females, biological females that I think are very attractive as well. So anyway. But yeah, going to what we're gonna talk about here though, which is basically the whole pride event thing there in Cleveland. And what's funny to me too, by the way, is that these people want to sit here and, make a claim as if they're like the majority or something like that. When in reality, the one chick in the subreddit here that I was looking at for this thing was basically saying how there was roughly maybe like 10,000 people or so there for that event, if even that much. So to me, what you're basically saying is you're about possibly give or take 10,000 people, maybe 11,000, I'll give you that, honestly, in a state of almost 12 million people. You're a percent of a percent of a percent at that point. Just like I'm a percent of a percent at this point, Hell, I'm probably less of a percent than they are at this point because, again, I'm a bisexual conservative. I'm a constitutionalist on top of that. So, like I'm basically fitting like all the other categories of their asses at that point, So, anyway. But I was actually looking up some stuff because I was looking at some of the pictures from this event and I was like trying to figure out what the hell the one flag was, and apparently I guess it's like a lesbian pride flag. Honestly, it's funny to me looking at some of the flags that they've created here is what it is for like all these different kinds of pride is what it is there. I feel like truthfully, honestly speaking, it's almost like country flags at that point. But you know what? One flag I did not see at all be flying during this whole pride event? An American flag. Because truthfully, dude, that's the real pride flag right there. Be proud of your country and be proud to actually have the freedoms of the Constitution of this great nation. But that's the problem with these leftists. They don't want to have that stuff, dude. What they want to do is they want to tear it all down. They want to break it all down. They want to create chaos, anarchy, mayhem, bedlam, all that shit like that. And then build it back up to their rules for radicals bullshit right now. And what they don't realize is, when you look at history lessons, because most people don't actually follow history is what it is. When you actually look out throughout history is what it is, and every single dictatorship that's risen up over the centuries and stuff here and there, what's the first thing that's happened underneath every single one of them? Oh yeah, that's right. The people that helped them get into power were the first ones up against the fucking wall, being murdered and being massacred and being democided. And I'll be damned if I'll let that happen, dude. To myself or anyone else for that matter. And that's why these people just need to fuck off is what it is, dude, for real. And as I said on Twitter earlier under the, network moniker there, I straight up asked the question. I was like, because there was an opinion piece that came out here in the last day or so about them trying to claim Ohio as being ruled by a authoritarian right-wing GOP or whatever now. And it's like, okay, so here's my question to the leftists out there. If you, and this is basically for leftists in Ohio or any other state for that matter that's a red state at this point, if you truly believe that, why the fuck are you still here? Why haven't you already packed your fucking shit and gotten the fuck out of the state or any other state for that matter that's a red state and gone to some leftist hellhole like Michigan or fucking New York or New Jersey or California or Oregon or Washington State or something like that, dude? Why haven't you gone to Portland, Oregon specifically, the biggest hotbed of Antifa terrorism currently, your fucking great leftist utopia there? Why haven't you taken your asses and moved over there now? Oh, yeah, that's right, because you want the security and safety of an actual red state that is pro 2A, that is constitutional carry, but yet you don't want to admit that shit. You want to have your fucking cake and eat it too. That's what it really is. You want to sit here and bitch and moan and be like, I'm so fucking oppressed. Well, you literally have a goddamn month dedicated to your fucking bullshit, dude. There's a reason why, as a bisexual conservative, I don't go to pride events. Because I'm not welcome at them. Because these people hate me more than they hate straight people, dude. Because I don't fit into their fucking bullshit box. Because I'm outspoken. Because I actually give a fuck about the Constitution and about the American flag. I'm not going to sit there and denigrate either one of them. I'm not going to sit there and tear fucking pages out of a holy Bible like some Satanist piece of shit on the left. I'm going to hold that Bible up. I'm going to hold my Constitution up. And I'm going to hold my flag up. And it's really as simple as that, honestly. But anyway, we are going to talk a little bit about the whole thing here. So basically, this is the Reddit thing here for the overall thing. Because I didn't want to talk about some of the stuff people were saying here in the comment section. Which, even give or take, if there was like supposedly like 10,000 people here or whatever the case be, let's say they got all, let's see, none of them were actually registered to vote and they all got registered to vote or whatever the case be, okay. That's still like 10,000 out of, you know, several million people in the state of Ohio. Like, they're still way outnumbered when it comes to voting rights in this state right now, dude. But the entire problem I have, though, is, like this one person said here, let me go find it real quick. Yeah, I said, wonderful display of unity, which is absolute bullshit. It's all leftism. So now let's hope to God that they all registered to vote, which again, how the fuck is it even legal to do voter registration at these events to begin with, dude? It's fucking bullshit. And they said vote down the 60% majority in August and women's rights to choose in November. So it almost sounds like they're saying vote both of them down then, which I think is even more hilarious. Because I think what they should have said, they actually forgot some stuff in there, would have been. Because I'm guessing they would have said vote. What they're trying to say was vote down the 60% majority in August and vote for women's right to choose in November is what they probably meant there. But yeah, I think it's just funny how they wrote it there, because it's like, yeah, you're basically saying vote both of them down. No, I say vote yes on the 60% majority and fuck your bullshit ass so-called right to choose when it's not your right to choose to kill a kid in the fucking womb. And honestly, truthfully, it was up to me right now, I'd say charge him with murder. If you're going to go there and commit abortion, dude, you can be charged with murder at that point because you're killing a kid, legitimately. And the same exact thing with all these motherfuckers that are abortion doctors right now. Every single one of these pieces of shit need to be charged with mass child murder at this point. Mass murder of the unborn. Same thing with politicians that push it like Nan Whaley and stuff like that. They should all be charged with those crimes right now. Because that sick cunt, back when she was dating Mayor back in 2020, had the audacity to declare abortion clinics as so-called essential businesses so that every chick that was pregnant at the time in Dayton, Ohio could go get a bunch of killing kids in the womb. Go kill all their children in the womb. Like, what the fuck, cunt? It just, oh my god, dude. It's just so fucking infuriating. It's just so infuriating beyond belief. And this is the problem I have with these people, is the whole, like, you know, and people have talked about it in more recent past here about like 19th and 20, and basically 26 being mistakes and stuff like that. And you got, you know, obviously Republican candidates like Vivek Ramaswamy right now, who's talking about, you know, possibly raising voting age to 25 and stuff like that. I agree that it's bullshit to have voting rights by default in this country, honestly, dude. And truthfully, it was up to me again, or, you know, I've talked to a lot of people at the network too as well with this whole thing, and we've all kind of agreed at that one. That it's like, yeah, there should be some kind of constitutional based test, is what it is, dude. Like, it's just across the board. And that's the thing. Like, you should, as an American citizen, you should know the basics of the U.S. Constitution, is what it is. And if you can't, first, two things on that actually. First and foremost, if you cannot pass the test with like a high ass margin, like an 85%, 90%, something like that, you shouldn't even be allowed to run for office on that one for this country, dude. Because the fact of the matter is, when you are running for elected office and you are possibly becoming a civil servant in this country, you are swearing an oath to the Constitution at that point to uphold and defend this and not break your oath to office. Yet there are so many that do so immediately. And if it's not immediately, it's within maybe like a week or two after that. And when I say immediately, I mean almost immediately with like a vote for like some other jerk off for like a Speaker of the House or something like that, who's no freaking sack of shit. And my problem with that whole thing is it's like, okay, if they're going to sit there and not even know their own oath to office and they're going to break it immediately like that, why the fuck are they even in office then? Why were they even allowed to run for office to begin with? Especially if they're running on platforms that are anti-gun, anti-life, etc. It's a bunch of shit, dude, entirely. And that's why there should be a 20th Amendment to the Constitution right now of auto DQs on both office and running for office, for that matter. If you're going to be in office and submit like anti-gun legislation or anti-life legislation or pro-transgenderism crap to genital mutilate children and stuff like that, nah, bro, you're done. You're gone. You're arrested on the spot, really, is what it is, and you're ripped out of fucking office in handcuffs, is what it would be then. And you're being charged with child abuse at that point, depending on the thing, or you're being charged with deprivation of rights or color of law if you're, trying to take away people's gun rights and stuff like that, is what it is. Or the same thing with, trying to kill kids in the womb. When you're depriving innocent children of human life, you're gone. You're done. You're in jail for the rest of your damn life, is what it is. So, anyway. But the entire point of the matter is, when you have voting rights by default in this country, and you have people who, are just now turning 18 or 17 right now and are be turning 18 before the August election here, you have individuals who for the past 12 to 13 years of their lives right now been completely indoctrinated by all the leftist bullshit in the public education system in this state or in this country. It's pretty hard to fight against that when they have been so ingrained in this crap for more than a decade of their lives at this point. And what are they going to vote most of the time? They're going to vote Democrat by default. At least until they wake the fuck up a few years later, and then they'll vote either Republican or some kind of third party candidate in. Whether it be, Libertarian, Green Party, whatever the case be. And that's the problem I have right there. And I've talked to people recently about like ranked choice voting and stuff like that, and why I personally don't like it. And other people have said, okay, there is good, causes for it, and there's bad causes for it. The problem is, right, the real issue with ranked choice voting, and this is the way I feel about it, truthfully, is it's open to manipulation like a motherfucker. And I think, honestly, I know it was NEA was the one talking about it quite recently, and then it was funny because he did the whole panel thing this past weekend where they were doing their top 10 movies and stuff like that, and he was talking about like 10 to 1 or whatever, and like one of them gets like 1 point and the other one gets like 10 points or whatever, but if there's like enough to get like X amount of points at like certain levels or whatever, that one just wins. And I think that's kind of how ranked choice voting works too, if I'm not mistaken, in many cases, because it's like, yeah, you can have, let's say 50,000 people vote for like the first choice or whatever the case be, and then you have like 100,000 people vote for the second choice, and now all of a sudden the second choice person gets the fuck in, is what it is, dude. Or it's even like the third or fourth choice on the list or something like that. And so instead of it having be the person that was like the main contender there, now you have this person that's in like fourth or fifth place or whatever the case be, that's somehow now in a fucking general election or some shit. And it's like, how the hell is that even legal, dude? Now, granted, that being said, I want to say he was governor of Minnesota back in the day, Jesse Ventura, and that's actually how he got in with some kind of ranked choice voting system, because he was like, I think, third or something in the points system or whatever it was, and he was able to use that to, I think there was some kind of thing where it was basically like a double like ranked choice or whatever. So it was like if you got like X amount of a threshold or something, and nobody got like X amount of points, where like 50% or whatever it was, that you just had like multiple candidates then go into the general election. And then he was able to get in the general election because of that, if I'm not mistaken. That's how he was able to win the governorship then, which, that's the one thing. Like, that's why it could be good in some cases when you have like somebody like that in office. However, I think the bad outweighs the good by a lot is what it is, because then you have people like Arnold Schwarzenegger, who were, governor of California, and then he fucked that all up by allowing ranked choice shit to go in there in California and create like jungle primary and stuff like that, where it was like sort of a ranked choice jungle primary system there. And now ever since then, since Schwarzenegger was governor there, which was, more than a decade ago at this point, now you've never had a fucking leftist not win office there, because it's all literally Democrat versus Democrat. It's never Democrat versus Republican or Democrat versus Independent or Democrat versus Libertarian or Green Party or whatever the case be. It's always Dem versus Dem, and it's who's the bigger piece of shit basically, or who fronts as the better candidate is what it is. But in reality, they're actually the biggest scumbag possible to vote for, and then they end up winning by default most of the time, because they're, lying their asses off to get in office, and as soon as they get in office, they turn around and fuck over your rights again, is what it is. So, I don't know. It's just fucked up, man. But, anywho, so going back to, the Reddit, thread there, talk about that for a minute here. Obviously, you had the one chick talk about people registering to vote there at the Pride event. And then you had, let's see. Then you had this person say, great picks, way better than the ones they put on Cleveland scene. It was really a good time. Such good vibes from everyone, even the cops. Didn't even see one protester. Maybe they were there, but I missed them. Made me really proud and happy to see all the churches and local national businesses that support the community, aka, and we're gonna show a great meme here actually for that one, because it basically does fall back to the good old woke shit there, which is let's see, grab this right here real quick. Good old woke companies at 11:59 p.m. on May 31st. It's like just waiting for that gay pride month, baby. Just waiting to push our agenda and be a bunch of money grubbing motherfuckers is what it really is. So that is one of the best memes, by the way, of the dude just like rubbing his hands behind a fucking tree. I forget who that guy is. I think it was like a ball player, if I'm not mistaken. I want to say that whole meme came from him like getting ready to propose to his girlfriend or something like that. That's what it was supposed to be, but then it like changed it out, obviously. But yeah, it's just funny to me. And it's just kind of ridiculous when you think about it, how you have like so many of these fucking people being like, oh yeah, all the businesses, and that's the thing, right? Like they want to sit there and talk about being so oppressed, but yeah, they have like every single business and all these churches, like so-called churches on their side and everything else like that, dude. And it's just fucking ridiculous is what it is, man. So anyway. But where is I at now? Shit, where did I put that one at? Ah, here it is. Okay. Sorry, fucking things are mishmashing each other right now. Was that it? Yeah, that was it. Okay. Yeah, as one person said here, said I was surprised that to only see 2 or 3 Christian protesters on my way in and nothing after that. So here's the thing, right? Like you talk, like, and that's the thing, right? Like you probably see more of that, honestly, if they did this in a rural area. But the thing is, like, you're talking about one of the biggest leftist cities in the state of Ohio right now that pretty much votes Democrat 100% of the time, and are all inclusive to your BS is what it is. They're pushing your agenda is what it is there. And it's like, of course you're gonna fucking have like no resistance there, dude, because most Republicans don't live in your fucking shithole city. They live in the either suburbs outside of it, or they live in the more rural areas of Ohio, like where I'm fucking at right now. Or it's even more rural than that. They go down to like Meigs County and stuff like that. That's near the West Virginia border there, and they live in those kind of counties is what it is then. And there are a bunch of backwoods folks down there and stuff like that, dude. So, anyway. And sometimes those salt of the earth people are some of the best people, honestly. But anywho, so we're actually going to show the whole set of pictures that they've been talking about in this whole thing here. So this is apparently the whole Pride event thing there, where they were claiming about 10,000 people there, which that looks about right, honestly. You know, just looking at that first picture there, where it seems like it's, I think that's probably like a wide shot from far up on a stage or something. And then, of course, you got it going all the way back to, it looks like probably wherever the skyline is there. It's like all the way back there and stuff. The one problem I have, though, is what the hell is with the pedo pride flag? You know, or progress. I think it's progress is what it actually is supposed to be called. Progress pride flag. That's what the whole arch thing there is. It's got the whole, you know, trans shit in the middle there is what it is there. It's just fucking ridiculous, dude. And it's like, that's one thing too, right? Like if you're gonna sit there and you're gonna do a pride flag, dude, like why would you not, especially this one right here, why would you not have just a regular, you know, rainbow pride flag? But no, you have this giant ass fucking pedo pride flag with the trans shit on the back of it is what it is. And then you have other people that have like ones in the front there. They're basically, it looks like the Ohio flag, but it's all in gay rainbow colors now, which is really an insult to the state of Ohio, honestly, on that one. So, yeah, and then you got other ones there. Bunch of folks here. And then you got your little douchebags with their fucking registry crap. The vote no on August 8th. Democrats fight for reproductive rights. Sign the petition today. Or you could just fuck off, you fucking cunt. And you got that person in the back there that has Democrats fight for LGBTQ rights. No, they fucking don't, dude. No, they fucking don't. You really think they give a shit about you, dumb motherfuckers? No, they don't, dude. You're a fucking pawn in their bullshit agendas. If they in fact got what they wanted, they'd be the ones putting you against the fucking wall, dumbasses. They don't give a fuck. They'd be the ones that would be Hitler back in the fucking 1930s. Putting you on train cars and shit. Because fun fact for you that don't know history, man, it wasn't just the Jews that were taken into death camps. You had the elderly, you had the infirm, you had the mentally retarded, and you had a bunch of gay folks being loaded onto those fucking cars too. It was all kinds of minorities in those countries. And Hitler killed them all, man, because he was a fucking genocidal maniac. And it's the exact same thing the Democrat Party is right now. They were a bunch of fucking nut jobs. They're literally the people that created the fucking KKK. And then what did they do about 70 so years later? Created fucking BLM. Like, seriously, wake the fuck up, people. They don't care about you. What they care about is using you as a fucking pawn in their bullshit agenda and their fucking schemes. You really think Allison Russo gives a fuck about you? Hell no, dude. You think Nikki Antonio, who claims to be the first lesbian in the state of Ohio, gives a fuck about you? Fuck no. She's like, fuck all y'all, I got mine. That's what she's like, dude. Legitimately, I've spoken with this bitch personally. And that's exactly what she fucking is. She's a piece of shit, honestly, dude. But yet somehow she's the Senate minority leader? What the fuck? It's just fucking ridiculous, man. Anyway, continuing on down the road here. And you got this kid right here with his, if Harry Potter taught us anything, it's that no one deserves to live in a closet. Like, what the fuck, dude? Come on, man. Come on, man. Like, seriously, bro. Like, I can't help but laugh at that one. That one's actually funny. You know, I'm gonna give that kid some credit on that one, dude. At least he has some jokes there, man. It's like one lone cop car or something in the middle of the road there. Bunch of people in their little. Yeah, that's one thing I think is interesting. These people that want to wear their like little. I think this is a trans pride flag, if I'm not mistaken here. Because they want to act like they're superheroes or something, man. You're not, dude. You're just another fucking individual. You're not a special snowflake. You're not nothing, dude. You're a fucking cog in the machine, is what it is. You got those people with all the. I'm surprised a lot of people were wearing like almost like black t-shirts too, because that's like a hot ass color to be wearing, dude. Like physically, it'll make you hotter because it's the sun beating into it and causing your skin to be hotter then. Then you got a bunch more people that were part of the parade there. And you got the weird ass little trans pride flag or pedo. Actually, no, I'm sorry, it's a pedo pride flag. Talking about everyone you love. Jesus. And of course, you got some more trans pride flags back there too, as well. And then I'm not sure what that middle one is there. I don't think I don't know. I don't think that's a bisexual pride flag. I think that's something else. It's hard to say. It looks like this one here might be an American flag, but it's all in like a gay rainbow color though. So anyway. And of course you got everybody holding their little pride flags they're probably giving at the beginning of the thing. And you got the Cleveland Foundation with their gay pride banner there. Some small child doesn't know what the fuck's going on. Hilton for the stay with their gay pride banner. All kinds of other gay pride banners here. City of Cleveland gay pride banner. Fucking Sherwin-Williams with their gay pride banner, which again goes back to the meme I showed earlier. You know, the woke company's 11:59 p.m. on May 31st. Sherwin-Williams, ladies and gentlemen. 100%. Actually, I will give the one chick here a little bit of credit. At least she looks like she's wearing the regular pride flag and not the fucking pedo pride flag. So at least there's that. And you got P flag. And you got these fucking idiots, Cleveland Rape Crisis Center. That are some of the biggest fucking abusers of everybody at that point, man. So, then you got Stonewall Sports. Some more pedo pride flags there. Got fucking BLM morons. Riley House, which I'm pretty sure is some trans thing, if I'm not mistaken. Cuyahoga DD, I'm not even sure what that even is, honestly. See, supporting and empowering people with, okay, developmental disability. Right there, with developmental disabilities. For God's sakes, man. The fucking memes write themselves, man. It's fucked up. And of course, they got their big old pride flag there. I'm not sure if that's a regular one or if that's the pedo one at the very end of it. It's hard to tell. And then, of course, what do you got? Piece of shit Justin Bibb doing at the top of the Capitol there. Got their fucking flag up there, too, as well. I'm not sure if that's the Ohio flag on top of it or it's above the Ohio flag, even maybe. Fucking people. Some more pedo pride flag shit. Some more pedo pride flag things for the Franklin Circle Church. Probably more like Franklin Circle Jerk Church is my guess almost on that one. So, got the open and affirming shit for them with all their little children there as well. They're trying to indoctrinate now. That's the thing that pisses me off the most, right? Like, I have no problem if you're a fucking grown-ass adult sitting here coming to be a Lakewood church or whatever. But don't be sitting here talking about affirming shit and you got small children with you, bitch. You are nothing more than a fucking grooming piece of shit, honestly, at that point. You are trying to indoctrinate children into your sick fucking behavior is what it is. So, anyway. Then we got the fucking pedo pride flag with a black power fist on it. I'm not even sure what the hell that one is. It's like progress, fucking black power. I don't even know. So, yeah. So you can't sit here and honestly tell me these people are oppressed, man, when you have them just walking the fucking streets in big ass numbers like that. It's a bunch of crap, dude. This one I actually thought was funny. Bears fur art. It would obviously be all the little bear dudes and stuff like that. Again, okay, so going back to stuff I think is weird, right? What the fuck is with the goddamn dog mask, dude? Like, seriously, bro. You can be just a gay dude in a fucking biker outfit. You don't gotta be some fucking weirdo in a goddamn dog mask, bro. Like, it's just fucking odd and fucked up behavior is what it is. It makes no sense at all. It really doesn't. And what I was mentioning earlier, that flag back there, that's the it's like a orange, white, purple, pink flag or whatever. That's apparently the lesbian pride flag, which makes sense because it's all a bunch of chicks there on roller skates. I think this might be part of the. I think that some of these chicks might be in the roller derby, is what it is there for Cleveland or something. So Not sure exactly what flag this is. It almost looks like a weird cop flag or something, like a fucking Blue Lives Matter flag or something. I guarantee it's not, though. It just kind of looks like one is what it is. And then we got the lesbian pride flag again and some other stuff as well. And you got the, this is actually a pretty good one. Central Outreach Wellness Center. So quite literally a mental illness fucking center is what it is. Which makes sense, because then you go to the next picture, and what is it? It's the fucking pride. It's the pedo pride flag again, and a giant coloration there, and some transgendery person there. So, again, the memes kind of write themselves on this one, man. So, and then again, you got some fucking weird ass drag queen with a bunch of small children. What the hell is wrong with these fucking parents? Seriously, it's weird shit, man. And they got the cops and the cop dog. Actually, this one could be probably used to be pretty funny, which would be basically have somebody superimpose like one of the progress pride flags underneath the dog, because it looks like it's taking a shit on the fucking flag then. And then there was one of the Christian pastor people that they were talking about right there with the camera on, with the repent shirt on. I think there's probably a couple of others here too as well. So, and then it looks like these. I'm not sure if these guys are. I think this one guy right here might be gay. And it might have been them just having a discussion, but it almost looks like it could have been like an argument forming of some kind or something about different stuff. So who knows? Maybe, maybe not. Of course, you got your drag queen story hour shit right there. Pretty sure those are the cops right there on the top of the building with sniper rifles ready in case something happens. So, yeah, anyway. But yeah, that's about it though. I don't know what else to say, man. Like I said, what's funny to me is that they think they have the numbers here. They don't. They never do, man. They never do. They never will. And even as someone like myself, who is on the other side, like I will never fucking be with these people. I'll never hang out with these people. Is what it is, dude. Just because of the fact that it's like, no, they won't actually support me as a conservative dude, even if I am bisexual, whatever the case be. So it's like, why the fuck would I even bother? That being said, I do want to mention something funny here, because when I was looking at the flags, while I was trying to find out what that one flag was actually, which was the um that lesbian pride flag. So I was looking up like, I think I typed in like pride flags or something, and one of the first sites that came up was this site right here, where I guess you can buy a bunch of different pride flags. And I'm going to show this stuff here because I want to discuss some of the flags they have. There's what it is, and apparently what supposedly is the symbology behind them is what it is. So of course you got your original, six striped pride flag. There's what it is. Then you have your original pride flag, which I guess had the pink on it as well. Then we have the transgender pride flag. Then you have the bisexual pride flag, which apparently is like some weird shade of pink, but it almost looks like it could be like more like a fuchsia or something. And then it's like some weird like purpley blackish color in the middle there, and then some blue color in the bottom there. And then we got our lesbian pride flag. We got our polysexual pride flag, which just looks fucking weird. Which apparently, according to this, says the colors and design of the polysexual flag are based on the pansexual and bisexual pride flags, borrowing the pink and blue and replacing the yellow and purple stripes with a green one. Polysexuality is a self identifying term that is somewhat amorphous, as there is a wide variety of different people who use the term to describe themselves. Polysexual identity is related to gender identity and is used by some people who identify outside the binary gender. So basically, non-binary is what they're saying on that one. Then, okay, moving on. Got the asexual pride flag, which just looks like a weird ass like jihadi flag almost in some cases. And then you go to the demisexual one that looks like some fucking weird ass. Actually, I'll tell you what that reminds me of. It reminds me of some like weird version of the state of Texas flag or something like that, or one of those kind of state flags like that, where it's kind of like very, minimal or whatever. Then you got your pansexual pride flag. You got your Philly pride flag, which apparently was where the whole black brown thing came in on that one. Then we got intersex pride flag, which is literally a fucking yellow flag with a purple circle in it. That just looks weird, dude. That almost just looks like a fucking like cornhole target or something on that thing. It just looks odd. Then we got the QPOC pride flag, which I think is similar to what that one chick was holding, but it was a mix thereof, which apparently is in solidarity with Black Lives Matter. Fuck all y'all, man. Then we got the gender queer pride flag, which looks almost like an Italian flag at that point, the coloration of that a little bit. Then we got the good old pedo pride flag, aka Progress pride flag, which was in 2018, the pride flag saw another variation to its design known as the Progress pride flag, created by Daniel Quasar to be more inclusive, overlaying the traditional six-stripe rainbow flag in a chiffon design that has the black and brown stripes from the Philly pride flag, as well as the white, pink, and blue from the trans pride flag. Like I said, why can't we just go back to fucking being normal again, man? Like, just go back to the rainbow. Seriously, man. Whatever happened to the good old rainbow, man? Why you gotta make it all weird now? Why you gotta push this other one now? And then you got the non-binary flag, too. This one I thought was kind of funny, though. The bear pride flag. I would honestly just get one of those just for funsies and be like, just to fuck with people and shit. So, obviously, that's, for those who don't know, the bear thing is, I believe, some kind of, it's like a bunch of the hairy guys in the gay community is what it is, though. Or the bears there. Yeah, International Bear Brotherhood flag was designed to represent the bear subculture within the LGBT community. Craig Barnes, or Burns, maybe is how you pronounce it, created the Bear Pride flag in 1995. Colors of the flag are meant to include the colors of the furs of animal bears throughout the world, not necessarily referring to human skin or hair color tones. So dark brown, orange / rust, yellow, golden, yellow, tan, white, gray, and black. The flag was designed with inclusion in mind. The gay bear culture celebrates secondary sex characteristics such as growth of body hair and facial hair, which is typically considered a bear trait. And then we have this last one here, which was the straight ally pride flag, which is funny because we just took out the weird little A for the pride shit there. It would just be a straight pride flag then, which would be like literally a white and black flag. So yeah, just funny though. But like I said though, I think it's interesting to me how you have like these 75 different flags for these people, but again, none of them ever wave an American flag, man, which is the most inclusive flag of all. You know, like seriously, if they really gave a shit about this country, I don't care if it is your supposed Pride Month, dude. Walk around with a bunch of American flags, man. Show you truly care about the nation. If you really want to be represented by the nation, show you care about the nation by actually waving our fucking flag. Don't be waving some other weird flags around. So, I don't know. Like I said, it's shit like that just bothers the hell out of me, is what it is. But anyway, needless to say, I do think it also is fucked up that you have these people basically using this event to do voter registration stuff at it. And again, it's like, how is that even legal? How is that even legal in the state of Ohio or any other state for that matter? To do that kind of crap, dude. When you're clearly pushing a backdoor agenda of like, hey, we want to get you registered to vote so you can go vote against this actual amendment that is better for everyone in the state. Eventually, is what it is. So I don't know. I'm just sick and tired of the left at this point. Honestly, I really am. And I definitely think we're heading for something right now. I have no idea what. I think it's going to be bad times ahead, though. And when it's all said and done, I don't think a lot of people are going to survive as it'll be. Especially depending on if it's like a grid down scenario like EMPs or something like that. Like, ooh, man, I could easily see these people going the full Alex Jones, eat the neighbor thing in about 10 minutes is what it is. So, anyway. But yeah, honestly, if I was to show up at like a gay pride rally, whatever the case be, I would just show up with an American flag and my 2A t-shirt right there. It is what it is. And my Ohio hat. And that's what I'll be wearing for that day. With like, some kind of pants or shorts or whatever it is, depending on the time of the year is what it would be then. So, but yeah. It wouldn't be some fucking like, gay t-shirt or whatever the case be, or waving a bunch of little gay pride flags or whatever the case be. Nah, man, it would just be me being me is what it is, because that's who I am. I'm just a guy. And I think that's the problem with some of these people is what it is, dude. They are so self I don't really want to say self I was gonna say self-centered, but it's not self-centered. It's basically like how am I trying to put this now? Like their self-image is so low of themselves is what it is, that you have them basically being like, "Oh, I must be accepted at all costs," kind of thing. And because of that, they will shred their own morals aside in most cases and fall into these traps, fall into these grooming lifestyles and stuff like that, these fucking people. And the fucked up part is when you actually look into this stuff, a lot of these motherfuckers have admitted the truth at this point. They admitted that they're trying to groom these kids now. They're trying to groom these kids for molestation reasons, what it is. And not only that, but they're trying to groom them so they can actually up their fucking numbers, what it is, because obviously, people who are in same sex relationships can't procreate. They can't actually have kids themselves. So they're trying to pump up their numbers, is what it is. It's why they're pushing it so hard at small children now. And as somebody who's in my shoes right now, I'm 100% going to push back against the shit every single time because there's no reason for it, man. There is zero reason for any of that stuff. It's just like the whole thing with what I saw the other day, actually. There was a video that came out of, it was a West Hollywood Pride event here this past weekend. And it was two dudes in the back of a truck. You had the one guy in this like skimpy little fucking leather outfit with his bare ass cheeks hanging out is what it was. And you had and it was like basically tied up or chained up to a arch thing across the back of the truck as it was. And you had a second guy in the very back gate of the truck with like, I don't know if it was like cat of nine tails whips or what it was, but he's like whipping this dude's ass in the fucking public is what it is. And it was supposed to be an all ages event, dude. And there was obviously small children there is what it was. And it's like, bro, who the fuck thinks it's a good idea to do basically S&M shit in fucking public? Like, goddamn, man. Seriously. Have some fucking respect for society, for God's sakes. Have some fucking respect for children, for fuck's sakes, you fucking piece of shit. But that's the problem. They don't give a fuck, dude. Because that's their fucking endgame. They want to push their fucking perverse lifestyles on every other kid in this fucking country. On every fucking child in this country. And think it's normal behavior when it's not. And that's the thing, right? Like, honestly, here's the truth of the matter, man. If you want to have her, like, I don't give a fuck if you want to make out with somebody in public or whatever the case be, like, that's fine. Obviously, it's whatever at that point. But the thing is, like, there are lines that should not be crossed, and that shit right there is one of them. Like, there's a whole reason why you have a bedroom lifestyle and a public lifestyle. And when you're bringing your bedroom lifestyle into the fucking public, you should probably be arrested for indecent exposure and potentially child abuse at that point. And it's like, what the fuck is wrong with these states? What the fuck is wrong with these politicians that they keep allowing this shit? Oh, yeah, that's right. Because they are fucking pedophiles. Like that fucking piece of shit Scott Wiener, who is a literal state senator in California, who was pushing all kinds of fucking drag shit with those fucking anti-Christ people is what it was the other day. and having those assholes at the fucking California State House recently. This is the same fucking guy, by the way, Scott Wiener, who now has allowed gay men to knowingly give AIDS to other people without their knowledge and never tell them they're AIDS positive before they have sex with these people. Who was also pushing another bill in the State House there to allow 24-year-old men to be in sexual relationships with 14-year-old boys. Why the fuck is Scott Wiener not in a federal prison right now for fucking child molestation? It is absolutely insane, man. And the same thing with Gavin Newsom, because his bitch ass is the one that signed the law there. Both of these guys should be sharing a fucking prison cell right now on a federal level. A bare minimum life imprisonment for the rest of their damn lives over that shit. It is absolutely fucking disgusting and disturbing and everything else like that. Why are we as a society continuing to allow this fucked up shit to go on? I don't understand it at all. I really don't. You know? I think that's the end game, though. I believe truthfully that's their end game is what it is. They want to put it at such a pace, and this is something that was talked about last night actually on NEA's Monday Night Cast there. And I think it was Tara that was one that said it because she was talking about the pushback there. And it was basically you have these people that keep pushing these agendas and stuff like that, and they know damn well it's going to be pushed back against eventually. And then, obviously you have these states now banning the, so-called gender affirming care, which is nothing more than actually banning children from being genital mutilated for the rest of their lives is what it is. And being sterilized is what it really is, honestly, dude. It really, honestly, I'm going to say it like it is, dude. What they should be calling a lot of these pieces of legislation, it should be called the Saving Kids from Sterilization Act of 2023 is what it would be then. Because that's what you're really doing, dude. You're saving these kids from having their fucking private parts mutilated to the point where they can no longer have children ever in their lives is what it is. Or you're stopping them from being put on puberty blockers that are gonna literally sterilize them for the rest of their damn lives is what it is then. Again, puberty blockers, the exact same shit that they give to fucking pedophiles in prison to chemically castrate their asses. But yet we're allowing it to be pushed on kids now. Why? Because fucking big pharmaceutical companies own the goddamn politicians right now. Because so many of these sick fucks are all about the fucking money and greed. And that's the exact problem right now. And it's exactly why they belong in fucking prison right now. For everything they're currently doing. So, anyway, like I said, I've just had it, man. I really have. And, I figured I would, finally just, speak my truth is what it is now. And, discuss how I came to be where I'm at right now in my own, life and lifestyle and sexuality and everything else like that. So, needless to say, I don't know where I'm going to end up in life with a, partner of some kind, but, only time will tell at this point. But anywho, again, there's a reason why I don't really talk about the shit for the most part. It's because, again, it's not what defines my life is what it is. And I think that's the problem with so many people that are out there nowadays. It's these leftist people that are like, oh, but I am all these things is what it is. And that's why they keep pushing the shit is what it is. Because it's like, if they're not that thing or whatever, or they don't have that as like the center of their life is what it is, they have no life is what it is. In reality, it's like, no, you're just a fucking individual. Just live your life, man. Seriously. Like, I'm going to keep living my life, I'm going to sit here and I'm going to do constitutional stuff. I'm going to sit here and I'm going to play games and stuff like that, dude. I'm going to go to work. I'm going to do some jobs. I'm going to do what I need to do and make money and stuff. Y'all should do the same is what it is. But anyway, I don't know anymore. Like I said, I think we're definitely heading down a dark path in this country's history, though. And I think, unfortunately, when it's all said and done, a lot of people aren't going to make it. And I feel sorry for them, honestly. Because they're basically doing this to themselves. They're basically pushing themselves into a weird hole where eventually it's going to be their own destruction, is what it's going to be. And when it happens, I think it's going to happen very quickly, is what it'll be. So it really does sadden me to think about that and to sit here and say, hey, I would like to see you guys just stop, honestly. Just stop and fucking, rethink some shit, is what it is, dude. Like, maybe do this stuff somewhere else, is what it is. Don't do it in public, for God's sakes. Like that's the thing too. We're like, it's not even like we're asking a lot of society right now, dude. It's like, just stop doing this shit in front of kids in public, for God's sakes. Like, take it back. Like, seriously, bro. There's a reason why y'all had like gay bars and shit like that in the 90s. Or you had like S&M clubs in the 90s. Take it back into the fucking indoor establishments and do it in there. Like, how hard is that? Seriously. You want to go whip your partner in an S&M lifestyle? That's cool, bro. Go do it in a fucking sex dungeon someplace in a fucking basement of some fucking bar or something like that. Or some fucking nightclub or whatever the hell it is. Don't be doing it in the fucking full view of small children in a public setting on the back of a fucking truck. Like, Jesus Christ. Seriously. Honestly, I think really the problem with our society in a nutshell was really that, honestly. It was taking God and Christ out of fucking schools back in the day. It was the whole separation of church and state, because what's happened since then? You now have this other fucked up church and state, whereas these leftists that have created their own fucking, like, sort of mega church of just, gaydism is what I'll call it best, honestly, at this point. Where it's basically this whole, like, agenda of, gay, trans, etc. And it's basically this whole, false ideology is what it is there, that they're now pushing in all these school systems. That's why you have all these teachers in these school systems, all these female teachers specifically, these leftist, mostly white females is what it is there. They're all Democrat voting women is what it would be then, who will sit there and do the pedo pride flags in the fucking school, different classrooms in the schools and stuff like that. Or they'll do like one of those pedo pride flags and they'll do a fucking Black Lives Matter flag next to it or something like that. And it's like, dude, at what point is that an automatic firing? Seriously. If you're going to sit there and push those kind of agendas and put up flags in the classroom that are not the American flag, you can fuck off right out of the education system, bitch. Seriously. It's fucking ridiculous. Enough is enough of this shit. It needs to be time for fucking firing assholes, dude. For real. Fire them and blackball them for life from educational systems is what it is then. So, anyway. And then, of course, on the flip side of that, now you have these other teachers out there. You had one recently, I forget what school district it was in. I think it was California maybe or something, where she was basically told, oh, if any student comes up to you and tells you they prefer gender pronouns, you can't tell their parents. And she's like, I'm not going to lie to their parents. And what do? They fired her for wanting to be fucking honest with parents and have parents' rights and shit. Like, again, it's fucking Looney Tune land. It really is. It's like everybody took crazy pills and couldn't stop. And now you're just taking more and more crazy pills every single day of your life or something like that. Until eventually it's all fucking like just open air asylums now. For real. Which again goes back to something I talked about on the channel many, many times in the past. Getting rid of state hospitals back in the 80s during Reagan's administration. One of the worst things that ever happened to this country, honestly. Because now you just have a bunch of nut jobs running the fucking institutions in many cases. There was something, actually, I remember back in the day, and I can't remember what the guy's name was, but he was basically a KGB agent from Russia who was mentioning like the destabilization of America and like the steps to get there is what it was. And he laid out the whole thing of them trying to do that back in like the 60s or 70s or whatever. And then eventually it was like them getting people to sort of be on board with it is what it was, with like communist crap is what it ends up being then. And he was basically discussing like the different stages and stuff like that of how you go down and dismantle a country then. And I think we're pretty much between like the second to last and like the last stage almost right now. So yeah, it's not good, man. Like, we're definitely heading towards bad times ahead right now. And, whether it be a second Great Depression or something else like that that would take us there, or whether it be, shit finally breaks and people are like, fuck all y'all, we're just going to balkanize now. And it goes from there. Then we get a civil war going and a revolution going maybe after that or something. Who knows? But like I said, I don't think it's going to be good for anybody at the end of the day, because it's going to be, a lot of death is what it'll be. And I don't know that many people are going to survive it, honestly. I think there's going to be a lot of people that won't, is what it'll be. You'll have a lot of folks that'll just, go free for all is what it is at that point. You'll have a bunch of people going out there and doing stuff, and just eventually it'll be this whole fucking, just like crazy Mad Max world. And I don't know about the rest of you, but I don't want to live in that fucking world, man. I don't want to live in the world of Book of Eli where you got an old couple eating a bunch of people and shit like that, dude, to survive. Fuck all that. Nah, hell no. So, anyway. It's funny to joke about that stuff. It's funny to joke about the whole Alex Jones eat the neighbors thing and stuff like that, but it's not so funny when it's actually true and you would have to like physically eat someone. So, yeah, it just not good, not good at all. But anyway, we've been going for an hour now. That's way longer than I was actually hoping this to be. I was thinking it's gonna be more like about half hour to 40 minutes or so. But anywho, main reason I decided to do this right now is because I was gonna go to sleep, and then I realized, though, yeah, the game isn't updating right now because we're getting maintenance again right now for the next like half hour or so at least. It's supposed to be like a 3 hour maintenance, if I'm not mistaken. So about 20-ish minutes left to go on that, if not longer, maybe even. But anywho, gives us some time to shoot this stuff and talk about this whole thing. But we'll be back again for a bunch more is what it is. We'll probably do a lot more short ones, actually. They're about maybe 15, 20 minutes piece or so, because really what it'll be is we'll be next Tuesday, hopefully at 2:43 at that point, from because we got 137, 138, 139, 140, 141, and 142 to do before that. But I really will, or sorry, I say 140, yeah, 240, 242. Because we're going 243 next week is what it is, specifically because next Tuesday is the first anniversary of both Ohio Patriot Education Network and the first anniversary of Ohio's constitutional carry being in place. And I'd like to do that as a gun caliber, is what it would be for the episode. But anyway, if we can't make that happen, what we'll probably do is we'll probably still use 243, honestly, and we'll just do other ones after that. So it'll be that'll be like sort of like pre that or whatever then. So because I can't think of any other ones before that. That would be like in the 230s or whatever. Because I know like 222 is one, I know 223 is one, I know 243 is one, and I think there's a couple other gun calibers out there that are like around the 240s or 250s or something like that. But yeah, I can't think of any ones that would be between 237 and 243 then. So unless I would make up a gun caliber at that point, which I'm not going to do that because honestly, we've already done that once, which would be our 420 whiskey round that we created. Actually, technically, it's a concept round, but it hasn't been actually created yet. But essentially, what it would be is it would be a more or less a mix between a 450 Bushmaster and 350 Legend. That's not quite 400 Legend. It would be something slightly different as it would be then. Because I think it would use more. I think instead of it being a blown out 5.56, it would actually be a blown out 308 round, is what it would be then. So it'd be that with like a larger grain bullet or something like that, maybe like a 4570 or something in it. So, but yeah, it'd be the 420 whiskey is what it would be then. And it would be something to do for legal deer hunting in the state of Ohio and other straight oil cartridge states like that. So, which is kind of silly when you think about it, right? Like, go off on the tangent for a minute before we leave today. Why you even have straight oil cartridge states and all these different states like Ohio and Michigan and all this other stuff like that? Because it's like, dude, it's kind of dumb when you think about it, right? Because it's like, I can take a 5.56 out and go coyote hunting with it. I can take a 22 out and go coyote hunting with it. But yet for white-tailed deer, I have to have either a shotgun round or a straight oil cartridge round. I think it's 38 bore or higher, so it'd be like 357 Magnum or something like that is what it'd be. And if you're going to do handgun hunting, it has to be I believe it's a 6-inch barrel or 5-inch barrel, something like that is the minimum length. I want to say it's at least 5 inches, and then it would be, most would be 6 inches then. So, anywho, but yeah, it's just sort of dumb, honestly, because it's like, and I could see from like the prospects of it being something where they're like, oh well, it could go through or whatever, it's going too fast or whatever. It's like, dude, so could a fucking straight walled round. Like if you have it be good enough and you're not, 100% like dead accurate with it, it could like slice through and like just keep going is what it is. So it's like, why not just allow us to use fucking necked cartridges? It's just dumb, honestly. Like, why can't I just use an AR to go, in 5.56 to go hunting? Is what it is. Why do I have to get a 350 Legend upper for it and change my, ammo out entirely just to go take a white-tailed deer? And yet, meanwhile, they have to flip back the uppers to something else to take a fucking coyote. It's just dumb. I feel like, honestly, in some ways, it almost is like a secret way to just fuck us over and like force us to get more guns, or not get more guns, but get like more different calibers of guns is what it is then. Which I have no problem with buying more guns. What I have a problem with is buying more calibers and more, ammo of different kinds for guns is what it is. I'd rather have, just a stable set of stuff across the board is what it would be then. But anyway, I don't know. Maybe that's the agenda, maybe it's not. Who the fuck knows? Although I know for a long ass time Ohio just had shotguns only is what it was. And I think Michigan still has that, as I'm not mistaken, or pretty close to that or something. So who knows? But anyway, it's just irritating either way. And it's really a stupid fucking rule. It's really a stupid fucking, government telling you what you can and can't do kind of thing is what it is. And y'all know as a constitutionalist how I feel about that shit, dude, which is I do not like that, especially when the Second Amendment was written how it was for a reason. It's like, obey the Second Amendment and fuck off, tyrants. And it's really as simple as that, honestly. So, anyway, that's about it for the day. Like I said, I'll see you guys in the next one at some point here. We'll be doing Honda's Tuesday chat over on Rumble again, talking about all kinds of stuff. I might bring this up actually. Obviously, anybody that was out there that was watching tonight that may be part of that panel tomorrow. You guys know what's up now, and hopefully you do anyway. I mean, I've said it like what 5 or 6 times now, so I assume that you know what's going on now. But yeah, I do feel a little bit freer now that everybody, making my truth be told. Here's what it is, and letting that be known, obviously, because at the end of the day, who really cares, man? Who really cares what you are? As long as you're not some sick fuck that wants to, molest a bunch of kids, honestly. So, because we don't know where those people belong, and that's all I'll leave with that. That really is what it is, because I'm not going to go into detail on that one. So, anyway, you can ask Jonathan Watson in the California state prison system when he's having a pedos, and he'll tell you what he did to him. So, we'll leave it at that one there. But anyway, that's where we're at for the day, though. Like I said, I'll be back for about probably 6 more episodes in the next few days. It'll be then leading up to next Tuesday. Then we'll probably do 242 on Tuesday, or 242 on Monday, and then we'll do 243 on hopefully Tuesday then. And if we can't do all 6 of those episodes or whatever, we'll still probably use the 243 moniker then, that number then, for that Tuesday episode for the 1-year anniversary, where we will have a big ass announcement then. Maybe 2 big announcements still, actually. I'm debating about the second one currently. But yeah, the one big announcement will be huge, though, is what it is. And then the second one that we're looking at potentially could be very, very interesting as well. So either way, we'll be back for those. Hope you all enjoyed this episode, and I'll see you all in the next one. Later.